Okay, today we are going to learn partial quotient. It's a strategy for solving multi-digit division problems. So let's say we want to divide 162 divided by 6. The way we're going to set this up is put our dividend, and this is how typically a division problem looks. Dividend divided by our divisor. But for partial quotient, we're going to draw a line going down like this. This is going to help us keep our partial quotients separate. The second thing we're going to do is create a help box. And in our help box, we're going to multiply our divisor by 2, by 5, and by 10. And this is going to help us to solve our problem. So 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 times 10 is 60. Now, when we're using partial quotient, we are taking the entire dividend and trying to get as close to it as possible with our help box without going over. So you can see here that 60 is the closest to our dividend. So we're going to take 6 times 10. We're going to use that first. So 6 times 10. I write my partial quotient, I write what I'm multiplying the 6 by outside of this line. Make sure you write this first before you put the answer in here so that you don't skip a step. So 6 times 10 is 60. We write our 60 in here, lining it up just like we would with the ones place and the tens place. So now we're going to subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. 6 minus 6 is 0. And we bring our 1 down. Now, if I look over here, I can use my 60 again because it's close to 102 without going over. 6 times 10 is 60. And I subtract again. 2 minus 0 is 2. I can't do 0 minus 6, so I cross out the 1. It becomes a 0, and I put my 1 right here. So now 10 minus 6 is 4. This time, my new dividend is 42. I can't use 6 times 10 because 60 is greater than 42. But I can use 6 times 5, which is 30. So 6 times 5 is 30. I subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. Now, I can't use 6 times 5 again because 30 is greater than 12, but I can use 6 times 2. So 6 times 2 is 12, and I subtract, and there's no remainder. But I'm not finished yet because each one of these is just part of the quotient. I have to add them all up to get my quotient. So some people like to add them down here and then put their quotient up here, their answer. I like to use mental math. So I know 10 plus 10 is 20, and 20 plus 5 is 25, and 25 plus 2 is 26, 27. Or I can group them over here and add them. 27. So I put my answer up here. And if I want to check my answer, I can multiply. So I'm going to multiply what's on the outside. 6 times 27. So 6 times 27. We like to use area model to multiply. So I have to break 27 up into, I'm going to expand it. So I have 20 and I have 7. So when I do my area model, I put 20 and 7 and my 6. Now I know that my answer here, 6 times 20, is going to have a 0 in it because there's 1 0 here. Hang on. Zoe, hang on! And I know 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 times 7 is 42. So 120 plus 42, 2, 6, 1. And this is the same as my dividend, so I can put a check because I know I'm correct. And that's partial quotient.